Hello and welcome back to the video number 8 of this UiPath RPA project. In this project, we are going to focus on every basic that is required to become a UiPath RPA developer. So if you want to become a UiPath RPA developer and you want to start from scratch and understand each and every component of UiPath development, this is the right playlist for you. You will find the link of the complete playlist in description. So go through the description. And for upcoming videos on UiPath automation and Python automation and other automation technologies, please subscribe to our channel. This is very important video because in this video we are going to understand that how can we use UiPath Gen AI activities. So not any third-party activity. It is UiPath Gen AI activities. These activities owned by UiPath itself. See how can we pass prompt and how can we get the output from that prompt. How can we activate these Gen AI activities in UiPath? Whatever output we will receive from UiPath Gen AI activities, we are going to use that, and we are going to create a browser, PDF browser, to send our customers. Let's start this video. Alright, so in the last video we have seen how can we create a dynamic template, HTML template, use in the mail body. Now in this video we will see how can we create a PDF browser which has all the details about the car and it is being attached in the email. Okay, so let's start. First, I have a master PPT. You will get this PPT file in files, so you don't have to do any changes. I have just created this PPT simply. UiPath title I have kept practice project UiPath, and let me just change this to mileage. What we can do is we can use same thing that we have used here. You remember for each, and we can use these arguments also. Title, engine, mileage, image URL, price, and ratings. I am not going to use image here. I am not going to use image here, not inserting image in this. That I will leave to you, that how can you insert image in PowerPoint presentation. You do the experiment and add that. Title will replace here mileage. Price, rating, and it is engine. This is our template, simple template for UiPath. And now we will see how can we edit and modify data in PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so what you can do is best that you can just copy this workflow itself, send email, rename this because we have variables already available. So this is how you can develop your projects faster. If you think that you can reuse some workflow, feel free to do that. I will rename this create browser. Okay, I will open this. Okay, so here in this, we don't have to read any HTML template. Only thing is that we need some arguments because here also data will be coming from queue as you have seen, right? So how to initialize the list that we have seen in the last video. So right now you have all arguments. I have to delete two arguments. You remember that I have used password and ID. So I will remove those two arguments first. I will not show that part. So these were the so these were the arguments that we needed in the last video, but now we don't need this because we are just creating the PPT. The email part is already over in the last video. So this also we don't need. This password is not needed. Image we are not using. So in this one, URL is also not needed. Now we are not sending any email, so we will just delete this. Okay. Now I will go to variables. If you remember that we have created the list of placeholders in the last video. So this is how you initialize the list. I will just show this. All right. So this is how we had created. So this is the new list we are creating when this flow will get initialized, and all of these will be the placeholders. So placeholders are used to replace values. So when we will have this in any document, we will be able to replace values. Right. So that's what we are going to do here. And few of the arguments we have deleted, so we have to take those arguments out from here as well. I think image URL we have taken out. It work fine now. Okay, so now why we have created this list here in variables with default values, because the moment flow will initialize, the workflow will initialize, all of these will be assigned to this list. Why we have this list of values declared here, but values we are assigning here because these values will come in runtime from our UiPath queue using different arguments, right? In the performer section. If you are following the video, you will understand what is dispatcher and what is performer. Now what we have to do, that we have to replace all of this data, right, in this deck. So the first step what we will do is that we will copy this master deck with some name. Okay, so this is our master PPT. We will not be overriding this because we will need this every time. What we will do is we will use copy file. How to copy the file from one location to another location. So from master, it is from the same location, so you don't have to give the complete path. But if it is placed in some other location, not in UiPath project path, then you have to give the complete path here. And destination also, what we can do is we can just create a IN title plus we can use underscore brochure dot pptx. Okay, so we will first copy and then we will use this file, right? And let's click on override, right? So once this file has come here, then same value, if you want, you can create a variable. Now next is that to read PowerPoint presentations in UiPath, you have to use UiPath PowerPoint activities. So to use UiPath PowerPoint activities, you can search here. You can just search for PowerPoint. So if it will go, if it is not installed, you can go to manage packages, and here you can see Power. You can go in all packages, PowerPoint presentation activities, right? So these are the activities. If it is not installed, you can install it. Okay. Now I will just drag use PowerPoint presentation. This is the first scope. Inside this scope, we will do everything. So the first thing is that we will be using, what is our file name? It has to move up. So as we do copy master p, okay, so that we can understand if error comes, that where is the issue. Use PowerPoint presentation. So which PowerPoint presentation we will use, which has copied. New PowerPoint has come, so we will use this one. Save changes, create if not exist is fine. Okay. Now what we have to do in this PowerPoint, we have to do some changes. Which changes we have to do? That we have to change all of these values, right? Image URL is not required though, but still if it is there, it will not harm because it will be replaced only if it is found. And if you see our master PPT, it is not there, so it will not be found. If you want, you can add it here, but I will leave that to you. Right now, I don't need this file, this row, so I will just delete the row, right? What I will do is I will insert one text box, and in this text box, I am going to use Gen AI activity. Okay, so we are going to use UiPath Gen AI to update our PPT. So two things. First, we will replace these values from queue, and then we will add some summary. We will write a prompt here using this data. All right, let's see how it goes. And here I will write Y summary, and I will just it like this. And this I will cover in the later part of the video. First, let's get these values, okay? Only these values, and see if the flow is running successfully. Then I am going to use UiPath Gen AI activities. UiPath Gen AI activities are not ChatGPT or something. It is owned by UiPath itself. Okay? We will see that in the later part, right? So first, we have all of this, and now this loop will go inside. Let me just explain you why. Because this loop is on going placeholders, and all the placeholders has to be replaced inside the PPT. Once loop is there, and if you open this loop, what it does, it will go to all of the placeholders and it will get the index value of the placeholder, and it will replace. So the sequence here, if you remember from the last video, that what we do is that we take the current item index, right? So let's say, for example, if you see here, title is on number 1, image engine is on number 2, so it will go for 0 1 2 3. So it will come, it will loop on this, it will say what is 0 here, this list, and what is, you'll see that number 0 is title, number 1 is engine, number 2 is mileage, number 3 is URL. Now it goes, when it will running 0 1 2 3 4, these index will come, and we had taken the index in the loop. So if you click on this, go to properties, we have taken the index output in variable, right? That variable we are using. You will get more reference if you have seen the last video. Okay. So now same sequence should be here. Car title, engine, power, car mileage, price, everything should be here. What we have done is that we have removed in URL because we are not using URL. Same thing we have to do in our placeholder list also. So URL will not come. I will just remove URL from here. All right. I will save it. Right. So once these values are there, inside presentation, we are running the loop that we are replacing values. We have to delete this because this was for last one. Now what we will do is, we will take replace text in presentation. In UiPath, you have the activity under UiPath PowerPoint activities, replace text in presentation. It will ask which text you want to replace, right? So in our list of placeholder, we want to get the list that is, we want to get the value that is at Which place? Just copy this variable item idx, item index. Item underscore idx. If you want, you can use dot to string, and same value in the same sequence is present in the another list, which is list of values. Same thing, item underscore idx. Okay. Replace all also you can use. If you don't want to replace all, you can leave it like that. All right. So once it is done, values are replaced, for loop is completed. Just change it to indentation. Okay. Once for loop is completed, values are replaced. The next thing is that we have to save that file. So save presentation as, so I am saving this as PDF. Okay, so what I will do is, same name I will take, that is here, and I will change this pptx to pdf. Right? If you want, you can give a destination folder also. So let's create a folder inside this PDF. Okay. So once for loop is completed, we are saving the PDF as, we are saving the presentation at PDF. What next we have to do, that we have to delete the file. Anyways, we have used override, but still what we can do is, we can delete PPT, because we have already created PDF and saved that. Delete file. Delete file, and the name we will use this name. Okay. Because this file we have already used here and it is of no use now. After saving our presentation as PDF, we can delete the file. So sometimes what is possible, like this value or this, you might have to create a new variable, or what you can do is just create the variable once again with the same name, because when we have copy pasted the workflow, sometimes few variables might not work. Just come here, use the same name, list of this, just PLAC folders. Otherwise, create a new variable but keeps values same. Okay. All correction. Otherwise, it's a typo mistake. Placeholder. I have just mentioned placeholders. Let me change. Yeah, it is changed. Right. So just change the name once if you find some issue. Let's try and see if it is replacing the values or not. There is an error. Message cannot access the file. File is being used by any other user. So maybe what we have to do is, we have to close the file or we delete, right? So what we have, or maybe just use this file delete outside the PPT scope, because if the scope is outside, which means that file is not in use. Let's try this time. Yes, so use the delete file always outside of the scope. So let's see that PPT is created or not. So that's PPT should be inside this folder. We have the PPT created. So you can see the title is replaced, everything is replaced, right? Now it's part of summary. So what we are going to do in summary, that we will use a prompt, ChatGPT prompt, and then we will replace that in the summary. So for that, what we have to do is, so first we have to go in UiPath orchestrator, and then let's go cloud.uipath.com. Okay, so this is my workspace. So in the connectors, you have to go integration services. You have to, and you have to click on this, and then you will get all integration services list in UiPath. To get Gen AI activities of UiPath, you have to search for UiPath Gen AI activities. So you will see this part. Okay, right now this is free, and future we don't know. Just click on this. Connect with UiPath Gen AI activity is the important step. Okay, just click on connect. I will just, and in the manage packages, you can go search for UiPath integration services. All packages you have to. Integration services. So integration services, you will get this package. Click on this package and install. Save. You will go now in activities and search. You might have to minimize this. UiPath. Here you see UiPath Gen AI activities, right? You might have to search. Click here. It will load all this content generation. There are so many services. Okay. Now we are going to use. So this is the UiPath Gen AI activities, not ChatGPT or something else. You don't have to integrate anything to use these services. So now let's see how to use these services into our project. So what we will do is we will create a separate sequence here. Okay, and if you are watching this, in shorts, please click on the link to watch full video, and then you will get this, right? How are we using this in our project? And we will pass our prompt into this. After passing the prompt, then we will use the output of that prompt, and we just have to take simple 4 steps. Okay, sequence UiPath Gen AI, create summary. What we will do is we will assign a variable. We will use Control K UiPath shortcut to create variable, and here we will write Gen AI prompt. So here I will give the example again of string dot format, and then you can write create a add summary using car brand as, and then you can just pass 0 here, and then comma car price as 1, comma car mileage pass 2, comma car, expand it further so that you can see car price mileage engine power as, and then in bracket you can pass 3. So you are now, after using this string dot format, so in the last video there was some issue when we were trying to create our email template because of some special characters. But now let's try into this, and then you say that you have to pass the parameter. So in control space, if you will do, you will get this in car price is on the second place, so place should be same, comma control space to get all the variables, car mileage or mileage. Ratings we have not used, but let's use only these 4, and then car engine power. All right, so this is how, this is our prompt. Okay, create a two lines advertisement summary for using. Okay, so this is our prompt text, so these variables will be changing. Just for example, what we will do is, I will use a log so that we are able to see log message, so that we can see that what prompt is coming, right? Prompt for Gen. All right, so we have created the prompt here, and after creating the prompt, we have UiPath Gen AI activities, which are owned by UiPath, no third party, no activation, and now content generation we can just use after here. Once we have the prompt and it is loading, and it has used our tenant ID. Now what we have to do is we have to use the model, right? So in UiPath Gen AI activities, so using prompt, we will just use ChatGPT 1.3, and prompt is coming into our variable Gen AI prompt. If you want, it is not required, right? PII protection is PII protection is for the data protection. You can have a look on it, and then once it will be done, then it will generate a output, right? To generate output text, Control K output of Gen AI. Okay, and then we will just try to write it here first before writing directly there. So we just wanted to do some testing before we are writing this in PowerPoint presentation. These are the parameters that we have to pass into UiPath GenAI, and then we are printing the output. For now, I will just disable this activity. Disable this for now. Let's run and see what output we will get. Okay, so the prompt was this. And we have got text like this. Right? So when we will run in the real-time project, if you are following these videos from first video, so it will come Maruti Exa or something will come here. All right. Now that so now we will see how we will use this UiPath Gen AI prompt output into our PowerPoint presentations. I will enable this again, and just in place of, we have to add this also in the list of values, so we will just move this up. Why we are using loop here? Because we are replacing all of these values, right, from this placeholder. After these values are replaced, then we can just have one more replace part after this loop. Once again, we can use the replace activity just to replace which part? This summary part, right? What we will do is, one more time we will use same thing. Replace text and presentation, and what we will find? We'll find summary, and then we will replace that with Gen AI. Gen AI output. I think the variable scope is not still here, so we have to go back in the sequence, in Gen AI sequence, and change the variable scope. Gen AI output prompt should go to. So this send email also you can just change. So when you will come this browser, click outside, you will come here, change this to create browser. So this here also it will be changed. Now let's go back to Gen AI. So Gen AI, you will come here and then you have to change the scope to complete sequence. That's how it will be accessible there. Output of Gen AI is the variable name. Okay. So down summary output of Gen AI. Save this. Let's run this now. Let me just change a argument value. I will write some car name. Oda. Okay, let's see. Let's run this and see if the browser will be created with all the required values. Our file is completed. And it should test PDF inside PDF browser. So it has replaced the title with Skoda Kosek. And you see, experience the power of efficiency of this Skoda Kosek robust. So this is how it will be replaced. So you have seen the magic of UiPath Gen AI, right? So now what we have to do is, when we are sending the email, we have to use this template for each car. Okay. So as our everything is dynamic, we are using variables, so it will be automatically taken, because the value will, whatever value will come here, same file will be picked, right? And what we can do is further that after picking up that file, attachment file, we can delete that file so that the file size is not increasing, the folder size is not increasing. Okay. So what we have to do now is we have to go back to our email send email folder. Okay, and in the attachment we will try to use this file. Same value will come when we will integrate this with our queue. So here what we have to do, that we have to use the same title, because the file name is saved by title, right? Let's save this way and create one variable, sign, minimize this. Okay, attachment file path. File path is simple. What it is? IN. Same thing that we are taking here when we are saving the file, PDF file, right? Because PDF we have to attach, correct? When you are saving the PDF file, save the presentation as PDF, you are using this path, and this IN car title will change, right? So come here and paste the same value, file folder path plus file path, and file path should be variable. Okay. Then once it is done, email is sent, what you can do is delete file. Okay, I will not enable this, I will enable this later, but you can just keep it ready and disable this activity for now if you want. Otherwise, let's just test it. Send email once again. It is attaching the file or not. Okay, so it is sending all the emails to my email ID. When we will go in the real-time project, what you can do is you can use this email ID value into recipient email ID. You can pass here. So recipient ID. That's how also it can. So first I just have to attach this file, create argument, and then we just give the value here. That is our attachment file path. Subject I will change to new. Subject I will, and let's check the file is here. Let's run this. If this file will be deleted, which means that process is completed without any error. Now first check the file. So file is not there. So you can see email is received. All right. So we have created the template also successfully. We have created the brochure successfully, and we have attached the brochure to the email also, right? So now, so I think for performer, these many activities are done. You can try one more activities, that creating PDF. All right. And then we can move forward. So now the next step is that we will integrate all the workflows. So first we will integrate dispatcher, and then we will integrate performer using RE framework.